but the people of this world showing everybody else, well, with one YouTube video, with a Facebook post or a Twitter post, exactly what's happening, and that's where people are getting most of the majority of their information. And I have to say, we are the mainstream media. It's no longer we're trying to become it. We actually have become it because most of our information is given and shared throughout the world, and it's just beautiful. I mean, there's so many great activists here from all walks of life. There's people with kids here, there's older people, there's young people, and it's just beautiful seeing so many different people of all walks of life coming together to document what's happening here. I wouldn't even call this a protest. Everybody has a DSLR camera around their neck. Everybody has professional camera equipment, picture equipment, and we're here just trying to show the world what's happening. And it's just beautiful with the potential and so much amazing things that we could just show people without any corporate mainstream media saying, oh, no, you can't talk about this. There's so many We Are Change chapters here, it's even hard to list. I can't even keep track of all of them. And We Are Change Switzerland is doing an amazing job down here. They organized an amazing event that we're at right now. They have also wrote their local politicians exactly what's happening, the harassment that has been going on. I've been here for about 2 days now, and I already got my passport taken away. I already got detained. I already got threatened with arrest and deportation from the country just because I'm here filming what's going on. And the question has to be asked, if these so-called rich people don't have nothing to hide and aren't doing anything sinister, why in the world are they treating people who want to cover this event, who want to document what's happening here, being treated like criminals? And they're pretty much protecting this place like Fort Knox, and it's just crazy what's happening. I've been actually traveling all over Europe the last couple of days, and I've been in France, I've been in Spain covering major protests, and I have to say, people in France, people in Spain, they all heard of the Bilderberg Group. I've talked to random people on the streets, I've talked to people at protests. Many people know what the Bilderberg Group is. Many people are sick of the left and right paradigm. Many people just want to be left alone. They want these big banksters that are here secretly meeting. They want them out of their lives. They don't want all their money to go to them. They want freedom. They want liberty. And I was shocked and amazed to see the true spirit, the true ideas that we've been pushing forward for many years now, so alive here in Europe. There's such a disconnect between us and the Europeans, the Americans, and the people over here have so many interests, so many goals in common. I mean, we're all just people overall, and we all just want the same thing in life. We just want to be left alone. We want life, liberty, and freedom. And these people here are suffering just like we are here. I was in Paris, France, in Bastille Square covering the major Camp Out protest, where hundreds, if not thousands of protesters were tear gassed, were beaten by French police officers just because they wanted to camp out in their square to show solidarity with a Spanish movement that started in Barcelona, Spain, and is now all over Spain in major city squares where people are coming together and are camping out in their city square in protest of the economic failures and economic terrorism being committed against them by their very own government. Just like in America, Spain bailed out their major banks, gave out all their money to them, and the people are suffering. The people are sick of politicians. And I haven't, there's some leftists and some right-wingers in the crowd, but the majority of the crowd in Spain, in France, in the resistance movement, in the protest movement, they are sick of both the left and the right. They are not political at all. They are just people wanting to be free and live their lives. And I'm going to be traveling all over Europe. I'm leaving for Ireland actually today. I'm going to be in Scotland, England, Prague, Amsterdam, Poland. I'm going to go back to Madrid, Spain, and I'm going to be covering as much information as I can, showing you guys exactly what's happening, uploading videos to YouTube right now on youtube.com/wearechange. A lot is I have a lot more to show everybody, and I'm still just shocked and amazed how many people are in spirit, are in truth with us, just like we are in the United States. This is not just the resistance movement in the United States. It's a global resistance movement against the big banksters, the big corporate heads, the big elite that rule things in secret and decide everything and decide our lives like they are right now behind us at this Bilderberg meeting. And we are sick of it, and it's just an incredible, beautiful time to be alive right now, and I truly believe, I'm very optimistic that we can take back this future. We can make our destiny, and we can be successful in this info war, and we are being successful. This is the first step. Amazing things are happening. Prosecutors are looking into arresting Henry Kissinger for war crimes. This is just an amazing, beautiful time, and a lot more greater things are coming. That's all I pretty much want to Aaron here. Aaron, here you go.
Thank you, Luke. I also wanted to speak for a minute. I've just bumped into Paul Dornanu. He's from Romania, and he actually gave us footage 4 years ago for Endgame, the movie, when he traveled to Istanbul. And why is that important? Because 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, Jim Tucker was virtually the only reporter on the ground. Now there's just a decentralized movement of activists all over the world, people we don't know personally. Everyone is showing up wherever these meetings are and trying to put the spotlight on this group. I want to pass the phone now to Paul Dornanu. Please tell us what it's been like to cover Bilderberg in the past 4 years and what you've learned so far this year. I think just arrived only a few hours ago. Paul Dornanu.
Hello, Alex, and everyone. I'm glad to be here, and I'm so surprised to find so many people gathered here. I wasn't expecting so many people here today. What can I say? In the past 5 years, since I started covering the Bilderberg meetings, I've started seeing more and more people coming together, and especially, which is more important, media like Russia Today have started to come this year again. Last year they were in Spain, and hopefully they will come next year. So I hope I will be able to go next year to the other events and cover the Bilderberg meetings, and I hope that other people will be able to come and support us and start doing what I started to do 5 years ago, when basically in Istanbul I was almost alone with Jim Tucker doing photos and pictures. Okay. So I hope we'll have more information in the next couple of days. So I'll give you back Era.
You can tell them the website.
Mm-hmm. My website is www.infocon.ro. is Romanian news website, and hopefully we'll have soon information there, new information in our language.
Thank you very much, Paul. And it's exciting. This is not about media stars. It's about decentralized activists going to the scenes of the crime and covering what's really happened, while the lamestream media, particularly in the U.S., sits on its hands and pretends it knows nothing about the proceedings going on. It is a little bit different here in Europe, particularly in Switzerland. Nearly every paper, whether small or large, has been covering the event in one form or another. Some of them have been downplaying it. Is it a conspiracy? Oh, nothing's going on. But others have been doing more serious reporting. The London Guardian, of course, has been covering the meeting in the last several years. That is exciting. It's important to note that there's a protest tomorrow, Saturday. That is June 11th, here in St. Moritz, Switzerland, and everyone should come down. Everyone who loves liberty should come and let the Bilderberg group know we don't approve of their meeting in secret. We don't approve of the globalist agenda. We know they're following. And although they meet in secret and don't tell us what they're talking about, it's quite simple. You look up the names, you look up their bios, you see what they're involved in, and you will witness the tyranny, and then you can start fighting against it. So there's a protest tomorrow. That is June 11th in St. Moritz, Switzerland. Everyone who's within the sound of this phone somewhere on the continent of Europe, or even if you're further away, if you can make it, you should come down. It's vital that we show them that there is a resistance and we don't approve of what's going on. I'm going to hand the phone back now to Paul Joseph Watson.
Paul Joseph Watson here. Yeah, we're talking about tomorrow at noon. We want to see everybody here. Basically from Central Europe, even further afield if you can make it. There's going to be a massive protest at noon. And the good thing about it is that it's going to involve both the young socialists from the left here in Switzerland and also the Swiss People's Party, which is the conservative wing there of the political movement in Switzerland. So no matter what your political persuasion, we want to see everybody here tomorrow at noon for the big Bilderberg protest. The police, we've had reports roughing up EU Parliament members, as you just heard. Just literally in the last hour, we've had reports from Alex of InfoKrieg of a standoff of protesters and police down there just above the hill, where you can get a direct sight line onto the Bilderberg chopper landing pad. And we want to see everybody there tomorrow. Of course, we were talking to Lucas Reimann of the Swiss People's Party in the last hour. And he was saying that basically the whole premise behind Bilderberg, their whole mindset, their whole agenda, the fact that they hide their faces in shame as the blacked-out, tinted-windowed cars drive past us, that is totally the opposite to what Switzerland as a country stands for. This beautiful country of direct democracy, people deciding on their own destiny, and yet we have this gaggle of 120 shameful criminals there plotting to decimate the world, plotting to install their post-industrial revolution, which will cripple the living standards of the West, also continue the decimation of the third world with rising oil prices, food crisis, of course. Jim Tucker yesterday talking about the $7 per a gallon of gas. And the agenda is now being exposed like never before. We'll be back on the Alex Jones Show live in the final segment. Stay tuned.
Okay, we are back live at Infowars.com. I am Aaron Dykes, reporting from St. Moritz, Switzerland, the site of the 2011 Bilderberg meeting. I want to hit three very important points before we end this broadcast, the most important of which is we are going to have a special broadcast live again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Texas time. That is 8 p.m. here in Switzerland. We are going to have a protest tomorrow. We want everyone to come out, and we're going to report live on what transpired throughout the day. Another important point we were discussing earlier, all the technological gurus and dominionists who are running the new online stuff as the world becomes more technical, more integrated, and more sophisticated. The older Bilderberg members are sort of fading into the distance as people like CEO, founder of Facebook, Chris Hughes, is here meeting not only with other technological wizards, but also the heads of the NSA, the heads of the various intelligence organizations. We hear often about Facebook being a CIA front. Well, obviously one of the central meeting points is here at the Bilderberg meeting, especially now in the 21st century. Also here at the meeting is Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google Incorporated. Google, of course, being one of the biggest entities anywhere in the world, especially online. Eric Schmidt is also reportedly probably going to be the next Secretary of Commerce. He's been a strong supporter of Obama, a strong supporter of the color revolutions going on around the world. And it'll be very interesting to see how his position develops as he becomes more powerful in the world, and how these technological heads continue to meet with the likes of Bilderberg and the big heads of intelligence. One final point, we've gotten reports from We Are Change Switzerland that the chief of police came to this activist meeting tonight, and that he approves, the chief of police does, that is, of us asking questions of Bilderberg, of protesters coming out to show their faces, and that coincides with these important members of parliament here in Switzerland, or the elected body, telling them not to harass protesters, telling them instead to arrest Henry Kissinger. Also, a man was arrested yesterday Paul, I don't understand this. Please just tell him.
Yeah, of course, we reported the bomb scare yesterday where, our car was parked at the top of the hill, and the chief of police told Aaron that nobody would be allowed into the area.
Not the same chief.
Not the same chief of police who came to this event tonight. And Charlie Skelton of the London Guardian put out a report this morning where he got the photograph, which was taken by one of the activists, of the man who was arrested for the apparent bomb scare, where the police were talking about some kind of tube-like device that was found in that location just across from the Bilderberg Hotel. Now, most of the activists that we've spoken to had never seen this guy before and couldn't identify him, but according to Alex of InfoKrieg, it turns out that he was a member of a neo-fascist organization, and as Alex has just said to me now, you would think that he would agree with what Bilderberg are doing inside the hotel. But definitely some kind of provocateur action was in evidence yesterday, and this bomb scare allowed Bilderberg for about an hour to clear the immediate area. They put up a roadblock, and many have suggested that this was a ruse to allow them to transport in an important member of the Bilderberg group. So with us coming up to the final couple of minutes, going to hand back to Aaron Dykes, who's going to close out the show.